Hi everyone. Today we will be discussing the vocabulary for polynomials. Before we begin, we would like to just recall some a expression or word that we need to know about polynomials. And hold for 1 second here. And that word that we have to define, that we want to define, is term. So in mathematics, a term, it has two parts. One of those parts is a number part, and the second one is a variable part. So some definitions of a term will be 3x squared. We can say x cubed and 5. So these are examples of terms. Now, each one of these have a variable part and a number part. So here we automatically see the number part. This is the variable part. Now, we know for a number that is in front of the variable, we call that the coefficient. So, and every number has a coefficient in front of it, so it's understood as 1. So that is our number part there. So we automatically see our number part here. So our variable part then, again, is understood. So that is x to the 0. And we know anything x to the 0 is 1. So that still gives us a number part and a variable part. Now, polynomials is the definition of polynomial is a combination. All right, so let's write that definition down. So the definition of polynomial is a combination of terms joined by addition and subtraction. All right. So it's a combination of terms. So these things, number part and variable part, joined by addition and subtraction. Now we have specific polynomials, and these specific polynomials, when there's only one term, we said this is a monomial, and the prefix for monomial is mono. All right. So mono stands for one. So a monomial is one term. Next we have is two terms. And the prefix for a binomial is bi. And next we have a polynomial with three terms. And it has the prefix is tri. So there are specific, now we would like to sort these polynomials here. which are combined, a combination of terms joined by addition and subtraction. Now, I would say that this is also considered, one term is a trinomial because again, we can put plus 0. Um, Again, let's indicate that. So here, we can put a plus 0 here or a subtract 0. So that still would give us a combination of terms joined by addition subtraction. Now let's do this very quickly. All right, so looking at this polynomial here joined by subtraction and addition, it has a variable part and a number part. So it is 1, 2, 3, 3 terms. So we have 4x squared minus 7x plus 5. Here we have two terms here, binomial, 3x minus 4. Again, binomial, 2x plus 1. One term, monomial. So we have 4x squared. 1, 2, 3, separated or joined by subtraction and addition. So that's 3 terms. So 3x cubed minus 2x squared plus x. One term here, so it's 2x, monomial. 1, 2, 3, 3 terms here, so trinomial. So x squared minus 8x plus 4. 2 terms here, binomial, so 5x squared plus 20x. And one term here, a monomial, so it says x cubed. All right. Now, the way that we tend to write polynomials in standard form is if the exponent goes from greatest to smallest. So we see that the ones in the examples we sorted, the exponents are going from greatest to smallest. We call it in descending order. So descending order starts with the biggest. So you have an x squared here, x here, and we just said previously when there is no variable part, it is a variable part, and it's x to the 0. So we have x to the 0. So it's written in this descending order. All right, so the instructions here is circle the polynomials that are not in standard form and rewrite in standard form. So we look to see here if the exponents are written in descending order. So here we got x to the 1, that's x to the 0. So that is written in descending order. The second one, we have 12 minus 4x plus x cubed. Again, we notice that's x to the 0, so it's not written in descending order. So we want to circle this here. It's not written in descending order. All right. Again, in writing in descending order, we have 2, we have 1, and we have x to the 0. So 3x squared minus 4x plus 12. All right. So x to the 4th, the 4 here, the 1 here, the 2 here. Again, notice that this is not written in descending order. So here we write it 2x to the 4th, we plus x squared minus 5x. And here we have 2, we have 1, and that's 0, so that is written in descending order. Now, when we write polynomials in descending order, we notice that or at this point here, the coefficient, we talked about that, the number that's in front of the variable is the beginning number. So a leading coefficient of a polynomial is the first number with the polynomial written in descending order. So we call that, again, the leading coefficient. So leading coefficient here would be 4, leading coefficient here is 3, leading coefficient here is 2. Again, we just said before, any number that the number part of a term is, when it's not present, it is 1. So the leading coefficient here would be 2. It is written in standard form. 8x minus 4 is written in standard form, so the leading coefficient is 8. 6x cubed minus 8x squared plus 1. It is written in standard form, so the leading coefficient is 6. Here x squared, so 2 and 1, so the leading coefficient again is understood, so the leading coefficient is 1. Now there is a bonus we have to consider here, and that bonus is the degree of a polynomial. So the degree of the polynomial, once it's written in standard form, is that largest exponent of that term. So the largest exponent of the term. So we here, the largest exponent of this term here is 2. The largest exponent of this term here is 1. The largest exponent of this term here is 0. So again, the largest exponent here is excuse me, 1. The largest exponent here is 0. So here 3, 2. So we look at those exponents. Now I want you to consider a case here. If we have 3, sorry about that here. Because you may see this situation here. So we have 3x squared y squared plus 3xy minus 1. And we ask what's the degree of this polynomial. So we look at this term here. So the term, the degree or the exponents, there are 2 of these. So we're going to add these exponents here. So the degree of this term here is 4. That's a 1 here. The degree of this exponent here, or the degree of this term here is 2, and so that's 0. So the degree of this term here, or this polynomial, would be 4. So we have to add up those exponents. So they want us to write a trinomial with a leading coefficient of 0.5 and degree of 3. So the leading coefficient 0.5. Degree, so it's a trinomial, so it's 3 terms. So I'm going to put that degree first. So that degree has to be 3. So that highest exponent has to be 3. Again, this has to be 3 terms. So plus 2x plus 1 or something of that nature. So 1 is a trinomial. A binomial with a leading coefficient of 1. So it's 2 terms. So 1, and the degree is 2. So I'm going to make that x squared minus 4. All right. Now I want you to do is sketch the graph of these 2 here. Put it on your paper. So, and we will be grading this. So thank you very much.